10 essential ninja movies that you must watch before you die. Ninjas have been a mysterious and intriguing entity in Japanese culture. It is believed that somewhere around the 15th century, ninjas came into existence when some men were needed for missions like assassinations and intelligence gathering. Such morally derogatory tasks were not taken up by the reputed samurai warriors who had a strict vigilance on their ethical approach. This is where the ninjas started to grow in prominence. But they weren't admired or liked by society or even by themselves, and their identities were a big secret. Later on in the 1950s, there started a trend of ninja movies in Japan. It was slowly picked up in the Hong Kong film industry, and eventually it found its way into the US industry as well. The qualities of the ninja warriors, like martial arts, knowledge of explosives, and stealth, appealed to the creators to weave their magic around these characters. With the advent of science fiction movies, the craze for ninja movies waned a little bit. But it is still an entertaining prospect for action movie lovers. In this video, we have got for you some of the best ninja movies that will make your day.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
You go when he tells you. Know what I mean? Oh shit! Shit!
The Octagon, 1980. Scott James is an expert in martial arts, but has some haunting memories regarding his rigorous training. Another haunting vision is that of his friend being murdered. With a scarred past, he takes up the task of protecting a wealthy and beautiful lady whose life is threatened by a ninja clan. Scott soon discovers that these criminals are also responsible for his friend's death, and it is time for him to settle the score. But to bring justice to his friend, he must take on the entire ninja horde. If you expect someone to successfully take down the ninjas, you probably have Chuck Norris in mind. He effortlessly plays the role of Scott James, the righteous man who is determined to punish those who misuse the ninja abilities for wrong reasons. Even though it is one of his first lead roles, he does a brilliant job with some powerful dialogue and soulful acting. Richard Norton proves his mettle in a small but crucial role. There are some violent combat scenes in the movie, and the final fight scene that takes place in the octagonal training compound is simply legendary. Just to set up this fighting arena, around $200,000 was spent. This movie takes some time to get going with a slow start, but once it does, there is no looking back. If you are up for an exciting ninja movie to fuel an adrenaline rush, The Octagon is just the film that you are looking for. Revenge of the Ninja, 1983. Some titles are a major giveaway as to the content of the movie. Revenge of the Ninja is one such case, although that doesn't jeopardize the entertainment value. The story begins with Cho and his son going to Australia after his family is killed by ninjas. They start a new life by opening a doll shop, but Cho is unaware that heroin is being imported through the dolls. Eventually, when he is betrayed by his friend, Cho stands up to all the wrongdoings done to him, and it is the revenge of the ninja. With a Golan Globus production, major entertainment is guaranteed despite a low budget. In the case of the movie Revenge of the Ninja, it's no exception, as there are countless fight scenes to draw you in. The brutal action was not reliant on CGI effects, and is as good as gold. Some scenes, such as the one where a wooden crate is smashed on Cho's head, will have you on the edge of your seat. If you are watching this movie, remember to get the original uncut version, because the censors chopped off some crucial bits. The locations were carefully picked, and the lighting along with the cinematography brought out the best possible visual effects. Sho Kosugi is no stranger to ninja movies, and even in this film, his performance is impressive. It's unfair to criticize the lack of logic and depth in the story because It wasn't made for an Oscar win in the first place. Ninja Assassin, 2009. Raizo is a young ninja who has been trained by the Ozunu clan, but when they murder his lady love, he turns against them and teams up with a Europol researcher. Step by step, he takes down his enemies, and eventually, he is face to face with his master. But this is no easy mission, because the ninja fighters are after their lives as well. Can they beat the odds and emerge victorious? This movie opens with a decapitation scene where blood is spurting everywhere. The rest of the film is not much different, and it is loaded with plenty of gory, action-packed moments. The fight choreography will remind you of classics like Kill Bill, and the mesmerizing cinematography complements these scenes. There are moments where slow-motion shots captures the hero bursting out through hundreds of ninjas, slicing some of them in half with samurai swords. The story isn't complicated, and neither are there any surprising twists in store for you. It's all about ninjas killing each other, with blood and guts spilling everywhere. They could have done away with the CGI blood, but with so many nail-biting scenes, you'll hardly notice the few flaws. Sit back with a few beers for this movie, and we assure you of a great time. Ninja: Shadow of a Tear, 2013. An expert in martial arts, Casey Bowman, was living a peaceful domestic life when the violent murder of his pregnant wife changed his perspective. Determined on having his revenge, he starts to stalk the killer from one country to another. Just when you think the final confrontation is about to take place, an unexpected twist will blow your mind. You'll realize that the fight has just begun, and killing the biggest drug lord in his own country won't be an easy task. The budget for filming this movie was extremely low, but that didn't lead to the usual problems like rough editing and the use of a shaky cam. The plot is simple and gets straight to the point, where you are treated to some delightful action sequences. There's one fight scene where Scott Adkins, the man who plays the protagonist, takes on 6 men in a fight. The entire scene was filmed with one take and didn't even require any editing. However, during the filming, Scott Adkins injured his back, and that caused a stunt double to take over for some of the scenes. All we can say is that this movie is definitely worth checking out, with so much entertainment on offer. Duel to the Death, 1983. A legendary competition is about to take place between the best swordmaster from China and the best swordmaster from Japan. Such confrontations usually end in a death of one of the fighters. But beyond the anticipation of this great contest, something strange takes place. The two men become friends, and soon they realize that there are actually some real enemies that they must fight together. This movie is like a feel-good action fest, where you have men fighting for honor. There are some compelling characters such as the Japanese champion who is kind to children and not the usual thug as portrayed in most movies. The highlight of this movie has to be the jaw-dropping sword fight sequences that show the styles of both countries. With ninjas, martial arts, and an intelligently written story, this film is not one to be skipped. The director, Ching Siu-tung, showed early signs of his great talent, and later he went on to become a sought-after action director in Hong Kong cinema. Duel to the Death is also a visual treat, with a buffet of colors and scenic countryside on offer. If you have the stomach for some gritty and brutal action, then this movie promises to be engaging. Pray for Death, 1985. The last thing that a gang should do to a ninja is murder his wife or family. Yet, they never seem to learn from their mistakes. And even in this movie, that is the premise. It starts with a secret ninja warrior from Japan, Akira, starting his restaurant in Houston, hoping for a peaceful life. But a crime leader accuses him wrongfully for stealing a necklace and kills his wife. Burning with rage for revenge, Akira picks up his mask and choicest of weapons to take on the entire syndicate that is responsible for his wife's murder. The plot has nothing innovative to offer, and yet this is considered to be one of the best works of Sho Kosugi, the famous man for ninja movies. This is because the showstopper happens to be the well-orchestrated fight scenes that have been projected with ruthless efficiency from the cast and crew. This revenge drama is reliant on the real action stunts. Unlike the computer-generated special effects that movies today have to offer, the skills of veteran director Gordon Hessler are no secret, and this film brings them to the fore yet again. As for Sho Kosugi, his fists might speak louder than his expressions, but such movies don't really require the best of acting prowess. Watch out for the climax scene with some brutal fighting involving a wide variety of weapons. 5-Element Ninjas. 1982. A trainee martial artist is jolted by the brutal murder of his teacher and brothers. Determined for revenge, he seeks help from an expert teacher who perfects his skills in martial arts. With the necessary fighting abilities, he embarks upon a mission to hunt down and defeat the deadly ninja responsible for all the murders. The Chinese take on ninja stories often has an interesting side to it. 5-Element Ninjas is a curious case where the director, Chong Che, displays some of his finest craftsmanship. It captures the different attacking styles of the various ninja clans and promises some stunning action scenes. There are 5 clans of ninjas that are gold, earth, fire, water, and wood. It starts off with a tournament between kung fu weapon experts and Japanese Bushido. Soon, the narrative delivers some entertaining ninja action that can put the goriest of kung fu films to shame. Even amidst all the tension and fighting, there are moments that will make you laugh out loud in amusement. Don't take this movie seriously. Even the makers didn't. Just enjoy the entertaining sequence of events and have a fun movie night with some ninja action for company. The Warrior's Way, 2010. An honorable warrior would never stoop down so low as to kill an infant, even if that infant is of an enemy clan. The Warrior's Way tells the story of a protagonist who refuses such orders, and as a result, earns the ire of his own clan. He flees with the baby to an American town, but the clan is in hot pursuit. He must gather all of his strength to protect himself and the baby from the wrath of these men who are after their lives. Seldom will you come across a ninja movie that evokes so many emotions at the same time. It's a tightly packed action drama with elements of romance, humor, and a simple storyline that binds it all together. The heroic Zhang Donggun does well to mix up his action-packed moments with humane emotions. Danny Huston does a great job in this crucial role, and Kate Bosworth is absolutely gorgeous. There's a long fight sequence at the end, where the choreography is so awesome that it seems like the fighters are engaged in an elegant dance. The way the movie ends leaves fans with the hope of a sequel. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope for one more of these classics. Ninja 3: The Domination, 1984. A sexy aerobics instructor is possessed by the evil spirit of a ninja. He was killed by some police officers, and his spirit wants revenge. The lady starts showing behavioral changes at first, and then goes on to develop a relationship with the police officer. Slowly, she starts killing the policeman responsible for the death of the ninja. In this invincible avatar, the only thing that can stop her is another ninja. This movie mixes martial arts and horror into an entertaining combination. The film begins with a brutal scene at the golf course where a ninja suddenly appears, takes a golf ball, and crushes it in his bare hands. When he is confronted with a gun, he pulls out a blowgun and blows a dart into the gun barrel that makes the gun explode. With such an introduction, you get the drift of what's about to come, and the movie will live up to your expectations in terms of some well-choreographed fight scenes. The shoot was wrapped up in 9 weeks, but that didn't impact the quality of the movie. As a low-budget production from Golan Globus, the movie stands out despite the monetary constraints. The cast pulls off a decent performance, with Sho Kosugi and David Chung impressing in the roles of lethal ninjas. Lucinda Dickey adds to the erotic quotient with her desirable presence on screen. Martial arts movie buffs will have a wonderful time with this movie. Cyber Ninja, 1988. The story takes off in a futuristic medieval Japan, where we see some honorable swordsmen battling it out with an evil warlord. He has a mechanical army of deadly ninjas that make him invincible. But the band of soldiers has the heroic cyborg ninja Shiranui to help them in their cause. As a crazy battle rages between the two forces, the future of humanity is at stake. What could be better than a ninja movie laced with sci-fi themes? Cyber Ninja has some exciting moments where you see robots and cyborgs fighting each other in samurai armor and swords. It promises the fond 80s nostalgia with the brand of action and technology that has gone obsolete ever since. This movie was apparently based upon a Japanese video game, and so don't be surprised to see it play out like a live-action anime. The problem was that it was completely Japanese, and initially did not take into account the Western audiences. Some say that it is the Japanese ripoff of Star Wars with a hint of Power Rangers-type villains. We beg to differ, and feel it is unfortunate to dub this creative effort as a copy due to the sheer lack of understanding. Have the patience to check it out, keeping aside your bias, and we can guarantee that you will agree with us. If you enjoyed watching our video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Do let us know in the comments what topics you want us to cover next. Have an amazing day ahead, and stay safe.